Every Canadian knows who John A. MacDonald was. John A. MacDonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada. He turned a collection of British colonies into a nation. Lots of people also know that John A. was born in Glasgow in 1815. And when he was 5 years old, he emigrated with his parents to Kingston in what is now Ontario. However, his parents didn't come from Glasgow. His father came from here, in Rogart, and his mother came from Kincraig, which is about a 2-hour journey south. They ended up in Glasgow, as many people did at that time. We know lots about folks who went overseas, but it's easy to forget the number of people who migrated internally, who migrated within Scotland and within the UK. Lots of people from the Highlands moved to the lowlands seasonally to work on farms, or moved to the burgeoning cities like Glasgow to help with construction or to work in domestic service. We know lots about famous Scots who ended up overseas, people like John A. MacDonald, people like Alexander Mackenzie, another Prime Minister of Canada, and people like the fur traders who operated out in the West. And it's pleasant to think of their great achievements. But I think it's also important sometimes to consider some of the more negative effects that Scots have had overseas. So John A. MacDonald, for example, while he did an immense and impressive thing in creating Canada and in building a railway that stretched from one side of the country to the other, he had this great vision of a nation stretching from sea to shining sea. But at the same time, he was largely responsible for a lot of the trauma and displacement of the First Nations and the Métis people in the prairies. But here in Rogart, every spring, the people gather here at this cairn, which marks the spot where his grandparents' croft was, and they hoist the Canadian flag so that everybody can see the place where John A. MacDonald's family came from.